Everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's cybersecurity hands-on tutorials, I'm going to be showing you how to install the free version of Nessus called the Nessus Essential on Kali Linux, and then we'll walk you through a vulnerability scan from start to finish. If you're preparing for cybersecurity roles like SOC analyst, vulnerability analyst, or a pen tester, this is a must-have skill. Let's jump right into it. This is very essential because, for example, if you're working in an organization that uses up to like 500 machines or more machines, and yeah, it will be difficult for you to start scanning the machines one at a time. Not that it's not possible, but it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of days. Because imagine an organization that have up to 1,000 machines, having to scan them one at a time is going to be a very tasking stuff to do because it's going to take years for you to be able to run through the scan. And so the Nessus is a software that uh, helps you to automate the scanning for all of this machine at a time and therefore detect which of the machine is prone to vulnerability or if there's any form of potential malware. And today we'll be doing a lot of hands-on, and you can also run this scan on your personal device, and then we'll be able to detect if there's any form of vulnerability. So let's start. Since I'm going to be using my Kalik Linux, I just go straight to the Kalik and just go to the file first and click. And I have already downloaded it, so I'm just going to walk you through on how to do that. You just need to click, type in the Nessus scanner as essential. Look, I already did here. So once you type the Nessus scanner essential, it's going to bring up the right information. We have the machine manage engine. That's also a scanning tool, but we're not going to be using that. We're using the Nessus Scanner Essential. This is very important because it allows you to scan for free for like 30 days, and you can do up to like 16 machines with this free scanner. Then you click on the Nessus Tenable Nessus Essential Vulnerability Scan. Once you click on that, it's going to bring up this information. Go ahead and put in your first and last name, your email, your business email. If you don't have business email, you can just use gmail.com. That's what I use. And it's going to ask you a question. You're a student, you can just put students and all of that. Then click start. Then you're going to receive a notification like an email, and the email is going to come in with a code. And once that is done, it will open updates for you and ask you to download. You can see you can download the most updated version. This is what comes up for me because that's the most updated version. And I just go ahead and download. Once this license agreement populates, just click I agree. And once you click I agree, you're going to see it downloading and it's telling you completed. Then once that's completed, you open it up here. And the next step is that we're going to you should also know that you can as well install the Nessus on your Windows. So now we have it downloaded in a file. I want us to navigate into the terminal. Once you navigate to terminal, once the terminal is up, I want you to CD into the downloaded file. So I have the terminal and I'm just going to CD into the downloaded file. So it's downloaded on my document. So once I see the into downloaded file, so I'm onto my download, I'm just going to ls. It's going to give me the list of informations on the file. It tells me that this information is in my file, and you can see this what was downloaded. Now that I'm able to confirm the download, I have to run the sudo d package -i minus, and once I paste this command line, I enter that, then it's going to ask me for a password because that is sudo. I'm going to put in my password and allow it to download. It's going to take a couple of minutes for it to be completed. So the download is completed. And now we have to run the sudo system cts start st. And once that is done, is enter that. And then we're going to run another command. And this command is to, because the one we just ran is to start the Nessus. Then the next one is for us to enable the Nessus. And there's going to be the command. Don't forget to use the sudo command And once that is done, it means that it has been created and it has been enabled. And once that is done, we can just want to verify the status of this application. So once we do that, you see it tells us that we have it running, started, and all of those information, and it tells us is Nessus vulnerability scan. Then and it should show that it is started or active, and that's what we have right here. Once that is done, because these are software applications, a software is a web application. It's not like what's it called, a GUI, which is a graphical user interface. So I'm going to go back to my Firefox and just open one of the links here and just paste in this URL because it runs as a web application. Paste in URL. This is the URL you paste in, and because it's already running, it's going to say potential security risk, and it's going to tell you go back recommended. I'll just click advanced. Once you click on advanced, it's going to say accept the risk and continue. I'm going to click on accept the risk and continue. Now we have it here. It's going to tell you welcome to Nessus, and we're going to start the complete the download process. Okay, so we have here. We're going to choose the register for a Nessus Essential, and we're going to click on continue. So we're going to skip this section. You remember when you put in your email and all of that, it generated a code. So you're going to skip this section. The code that was sent to your email, which I'm going to pull up right now. I have on my email. So this is the code I have on my email that was sent. So you have to get the code. But if you didn't go to the first process, it means that you have to fill up that form that came up. So once I put the code, I continue, and this is the code, continue. I'm going to use user ID or password. Okay, so let's choose a user ID. I'm just going to take Franca. I'm going to use my name, my user ID, and I'm going to pick a password for myself so I don't forget it. So I'm going to choose a password. So I'm going to be saving this password. And I'm going to give time for the initialization of initialization has been completed, and we have it right here. So we can do our scan this, my scan, or scans, and if there's anything in the scratch, you can see it right there. So I'm going to show you one important thing. I want to pick up this because the Nessus is a web application. So there's not like, you have to use the URL to always log in. So I'm just going to pick it up. Then we go to, just get a notepad, and I will save this URL, and I'm going to save it, and you can see the plugins are done compiling. So when you are installing the Nessus, you have to wait for the completion of the plugins. If the plugins, as you can see here, plugins are compiling, Nessus functionality will be limited until compilation is complete. So you have to wait for it to show plugins are done compiling before you can start scanning. So the first thing we want to do is to know what is our IP address in this machine, because we need to know the IP address to be able to scan. So you're just going to put if config if you're using Linux, and if you're using Linux, and if you are using sorry about that spelling. And if you are using Windows, it's going to be IP config. So this is my IP address. You have to take note of your IP address, and where is my IP address? This is my IP address here. Oh, sorry, this is my IP address here. This is the broadcast here. This is the net mask. So we're going to be taking account of our IP address so that we can scan this machine, and it's going to be my IP address is 192.168.1 and 20. That's my IP address, and the net mask is 255.255.255.0. Now that I have my IP address, so I'll go back to the essential, which is the scanning machine. Once I'm here, I will create new scan. Once I create new, so right here, I'm going to be running the scan. So you need to click on new scan, click on the basic network scan. And once that opens up, I'm just going to call it my lab 2 network. That's what I'm going to call it. And I'm going to just leave it this way and go to target. You can see an example here, but I'm going to put my IP address 198, 192.168.1.0, and I'm going to /24, and then I'm going to save this. Once I'm done saving it, I'm going to come right here, and then I'm just going to launch. Oh, so here is empty. Let's see. I go back to this. So this is what I'm going to launch, which is lab 2. I'm just going to click here. Once I click here, then I'm going to launch it. And let's see, it's going to be running and scanning. So let's give it a couple of seconds and see what's going to come up from the scan. Finally, it has been completed, and you can see right here, shows completed. And now we have the vulnerability increased to 91 and the host 5, remediation 9, and nodes and that of host machine. So let's pull up the vulnerability and this button. Oh my goodness. You see what's here? And this is a virtual machine. It says this has a very high vulnerability, and the CVSS level is 7.5, because once it's critical, it's going to be like 9. So this is 7.5. Oh my goodness. So we have the name. It says a Python library. I do have a Python on my virtual machine. So it says a Python library, and the family is and count2. Then another one here, it shows severity high. This will be vulnerability, and so this is, let's see, plugin ID, and this is also the count. Then we have the open SSL multiple issue. This also high, but there is no score yet for this. And this for web server 16, right? So this is my Linux machines, the VM machines that I use to do almost everything, download everything on all of that. Then we have the mains, we have the I. So when you run your machine and you see higher, you have to do something about it. You have to run the remediation and ensure that this is attended to. Then we have the low. This is DHCP, cyber detection. And we have the means, and this information is just a regular information telling you that, okay, and rate IPv4 interface via SSH and all of that. This is just an information. It's just giving a general information. It tells you, we see debug logs. Please visit individual host. And this is the host here. This is the host machine. Okay, so let's go back. So let's click on this high. It said the detected version of Broti Python package is or equal to 1 point. It is therefore affected by denial of service vulnerability due to decompression. Note the Nessus has not tested for this issue but has instead instead rely only on application self-reported version number and and asking the solution we need to upgrade the version to 1.2.0 or later. So what it's saying is that the vulnerability here is that we need to upgrade this Python library because as it is, it shows that I have a lower version. So I'm going to do that once I'm done with this recording. And it said we should increase install the new version. So the version that we have right here is updated version. So that is what it's saying right here. Okay. And we'll have to go back, click on vulnerability again, and let's see what this is as well. It's at the version as well. So the vulnerability here, and this can be affected by DOS vulnerability, and it's asking us to also upgrade the version. So the version that is here is low, so we need to upgrade it to avoid potential malware attack. And it shows here this version, and this is the IP address 1.5 to 1.2, sorry, 1.5 and 1.2, and they all have the same network, which is 92.68 and 1.5, 1.5, and 1.20, and it's asking for an upgrade as well. So let's quickly run through the other one. Let's see what this is. Right here, it says multiple vulnerability web server issue summary application using OpenSS HTTP claim IP address is trigger out of band read and all of these informations. And it said upgrade, so we need to upgrade to the latest version of OpenSSL. And these are all the information, and we have the IP address here as well. So, and I have 5 hosts here. 5 hosts was what was looked into. So we have the first host. It shows pass. So we need to check this host ending in 1.5 and the other one ending in 1.20. These are the most vulnerable hosts. And this is failed because the vulnerability is just 5. And right here, this is failed 26 and this is 1, but this is 18. So that needs to be looked into. And these informations are very important and will help us. So once you see any report like this, you have to do something about it. You have to do so. Go back and go back. Okay, so I just have to click it again. Remediation, and these are the remediation for vulnerability. These are the remediation. It tells you what to do, and it said two hosts, and these are another remediations and all of that. So it provides you resolutions to the scan. So I want to quickly run on how we're going to resolve these vulnerabilities on the system. So go to my terminal. Once the terminal is open, I'm going to need to sudo to update and upgrade the Open SSL. So I have sudo apt update, sudo apt install only upgrade Open SSL because that's one of the issue. So I'm going to log in. Then that's going to be upgrading. And once that's done, I'm going to also check for the version of the Open SSL. So this upgrade is going to take a little while. So let's just give time for it to um complete the upgrading. Okay, so it's going 90 and okay, so let's give it time to okay, so now that it's done upgrading, we'll need to check the version of the Open SSL because that was one of the remediation that was requested. Now it has been upgraded to 3.54. Then the next one is how do we fix the Python library because that's one of the um, information that we had that we need to the vulnerability that was there on the scan. So we need to run this as well, install Python 3, and we're going to allow that to get installed as well. Okay, so that's done installing. Then the next one is to install the Ruby and upgrade that as well. So it's going to be as well as um, sudo app install Ruby, and we need to enter that as well. And once that is upgraded to the newest version, then the next step is going to be Ruby Rack because all of this has to be installed and working. And then once that is installed, the next one is to install the PostgreSQL, which shows that there was a multiple issues, even though it has a very low vulnerability. We need to as well upgrade that, and that is upgrading. And you can see right here, it's asking us database cluster will be upgraded to version 18. This will be attempt now, if no automated clause and all of that. So I'm going to go to yes. Once upgrade cluster has been validated, we'll drop the old cluster. Yes, the old cluster was 17, now the new version is 18. So yes. So it's asking the same question again. Yeah, we're going to say yes as well. Um, and said and okay. So we're going to also update the medium severity vulnerability. You know, we saw medium and that, so we're just going to run this command as well. And this computer configuration, Windows, and all of that. So we're going to run this command. So for us to do that, let me just a second. Um, this is just policy group editor, and that'll be fine. Let's just go to, okay, so what I was just thinking is that let's just restart. Let me restart. Let's see. Okay, so we are done rectifying the vulnerability on the system, and thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share for more video.